Okay, I'll see you later. Bye.
Carson City's a lot cheaper. Bye.
Okay. What a beautiful sunny day outside. Ah, look at this. We drove on the grass the other day because Skylar had parked his car here and the Jeep was right in front of it. So we actually backed out and backed up all the way around. And then the freaking next night, it was like 8 o'clock that night we did that, it froze. So now we have all these grass lines in our grass. So hopefully it'll warm up enough. It's going to look like it's going to be a good day. So kind of come out here, see what we're up to. We started building the winch plate last weekend for this winch. So we're going to go ahead, we're going to show you kind of what's going on with it. So, this is my Badlands winch. Actually, the hook is on there backwards, in case anybody's wondering, because for when it was mounted to the Cherokee, we mounted it upside down. So this piece was actually on the bottom, so you could reach up underneath there to engage it and disengage it. So it worked out good for that, but I'm going to change that. Started welding this plate together. Freaking heavy is what it is. So this is just for the fair lead, and we're going to bolt the winch. The winch is going to be bolted down through this, through the wood, and this back plate's actually going to be welded to the back of the trailer. Sit somewhat like that. Marked it, there's lines. So it's going to sit about like that. And I'm going to weld the back side of this. Actually, it's going to stick out a little bit further like that. Anyway, doesn't need to be perfect. But I'm going to weld that on right there, straight across, and then we're going to drill these holes and run bolts up, and the bolts are going to bolt to this, so it's going to be bolted to the wood and be welded on the back, so it'll be nice and strong. I'm going to cap the top of these is right here and weld all the way around, so the fairlead will be on there. Fairlead's not going to get yanked on very much, hopefully, because of how the whole thing's set up. But if you ever do need to pull on it from like side views or something like that, because of how narrow this trailer is, and it's got a little fencing all the way around it, so it's not like we're hooking this on and going out that way with it. So I wasn't too worried about strength, but it is friggin' gonna be strong. And we'll weld all this together. Might weld in a little truss or something. It'll be good. And then I'm just gonna use it a couple of times to winch up a couple other cars that I got out back, and then maybe put this thing up for sale. I was kind of experimenting with it on painting, kind of getting all this all nice and black so it doesn't look so shitty, and then we repaint all the wheels, make it look pretty. So we've been doing that. We did get the wheels on the Jimmy. Come over this way, be in the sun, make it look good. So we got the wheels on the Jimmy, which is really cool. We do have to do a little bit more work to it. I did swap out the grill because the other grill didn't look as good. I don't know, the billet grill didn't look as good to me, or anybody else came over and said it looked like ugly. Yeah, we gotta replace the battery in the Blazer. Not the Blazer. The Blazer battery's good. We gotta replace the battery in the S10. That battery's starting to die. We're gonna do a little bit of work on the brown Blazer today, and then we're gonna do some maintenance on the Jimmy. It needs power steering fluid. Probably needs all the fluids checked. It hasn't been driven in a couple of years. It's been sitting. I gotta put the dash back together on it, which that's just the dash cover basically, in the bottom, a couple of screws. Not much work there. Take an hour and I can have everything back together and all cleaned out. We gotta replace this mirror, so we gotta pull this door panel off to replace that mirror, and then I think the other mirror's good. We'll show you. This is that ugly ass grill. We got our door panel, everything else is still back here, everything else is still good. But we'll just kind of throw it all back together real quick, which is really cool. This has this color interior. I always wanted this color interior. It's like, man, would it be wrong to pull these leather seats out and put them over there in the S10? But then you have cloth seats up front for this and leather in the back. That's confusing. Yeah, we got a fixed stick shift Blazer. Stick shift Blazer decided to take a shit on me and decided the starter was going to go out, so I went and bought a starter the other day for it. So got to get that going. We got to get Subaru. Skylar helped me replace this fender because the fender was all rusty and looked terrible. So we replaced it and it looks a lot better. Gonna air up that tire back up. I think I started cleaning it out. Needs a couple little bit more things done to it. So this door. We do put the dash back together in this because the kid who got it ripped the radio out. So I got another radio. We're just going to kind of temporary set in there. Kind of help sell it. And I was into it $600, and what happened is it had a bad timing belt. The timing belt broke, and so I got to replace. I was going to replace the timing belt, bought the kit to replace the timing belt, and found out the engine had bent valves and probably broken pistons and everything else. So it's one of those where it's just better to resell it. So I'm going to resell it for what I got into it. So about $600, I think. That's with travel and everything else. So if I could sell it for that, I'd be happy, just to break even. Got the Duramax. Doesn't take much more to get this thing going, so we're going to try working on this thing today. Come over here. What I'm going to do is we're going to go to the junkyard. I think I'm going to cut the frame horns off. Another one at the junkyard, and I'll just weld them back on. Brand new ones on. Cut these ones here off, and then I don't have to worry about trying to straighten them and make them perfect for the bumper to go on. And I'm going to order a grill. Was going to do it last night, didn't yet. We're going to get the grill ordered. And once the grill's on there, because the whole thing was smashed and the whole thing's kind of tweaked, and this fender's the original fender, but it's still kind of, yeah, it's all tweaked. Needs work. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna end up, hey, look, it's Mike. I didn't know who that was for like a year and a half. I didn't know who that was, and then I always drive by and honk. And then he came to our yard sale we had earlier this year, and I was like, oh, I know who you are. I never knew that was your truck, because the guy knew truck and didn't say nothing. So, well, we got to get the grill for the Duramax. And once the grill's on here, we're going to find out if everything's lined up correctly. And if, you know what I mean, and make sure the headlights are matching and make sure nothing's tweaked one way or the other. And that'll go on. And once the grill's on, I'm going to figure out where to put the bumper from there. Because if I go and cut off the frame mounts now and I mount the bumper up to where it should be lined up, and then we get the grill ordered and the grill's not right on it, because the core support's tweaked, and the core support's tweaked just enough. It's like to the point where it's not bad enough to replace it, but it's just, you know what I mean, it's just messed up enough to where it's going to give us hassles. So, not a huge deal. But we got the other hood we're going to put on, the HD hood. Put the HD hood on this thing. Put the grill on, and then we'll align the bumper to that and make sure it all looks good. If anything, I'll build a custom bumper for it and make it look good. But I'm supposed to do that for the stick shift Blazer, and then I'm supposed to do it for the Jimmy, and then I'm supposed to do it with the lifted Blazer. So we'll see how well that goes. Camaro, hopefully one day we're gonna get to play with that. And the Jeep, I'd like to fix the Jeep, but yeah, it's gonna be probably next summer. Be nice to get it fixed. Actually, we rode with the guy. Skylar and I went out and we rode with the guy who actually, he welded his rear axle together, and man, this thing can go everywhere. All stock Jeep, he was going where all these other people with all these big old jacked up trucks couldn't go. So I thought it was kind of cool he did that with all stock Jeep. So we're gonna do that. And the Camaro, we're gonna try getting driving, but we got so many other projects we're gonna do before winter comes. So maybe next spring we'll drive the Camaro. We'll fix it up and drive it. It's been 2 years, so I want to drive it again. We got to fix the bed frame still for Maddie. We made it a little bit taller, so she should get more storage and stuff. We have another bed frame here we can use to reinforce that one. It's just a tab broke off, so I'm gonna weld it back on. Our kayak, I think I keep that till next summer. We're gonna duct tape it all together, see if you can make a duct tape kayak float. And then we're talking about spray foam and stuff like that. And you know, the ramen noodles with super glue, you know how that's a big deal right now? We're like, man, we can make a ramen noodle boat and see if it floats. Do it with Elmer's glue, just, you know, by the gallon of Elmer's glue would be kind of funny. So, that's the axle. This has got the 373 gears that we need for lifted Blazer. Where's lifted Blazer? Right there. Because that's got the 342s, and it's just not doing it with big wheels. And all these other Blazers have the right axle, except for the one I decided to do the lift on. So this is drum brake. I have disc on the Blazer, so I got to switch all this over. So all this stuff's supposed to unbolt, and the disc brake's supposed to go bolt on. But I have to pull the pan, pull the axle all the way out, put back in. So we'll get that going. But just kind of an overview. I think we're gonna mess with that today. See if we can drain all the fuel out of that. See if we get that to run right, and then weld this all together. So we have this trailer. And then we'll go scrap the cars out back with this trailer and work on the Dirty Max over there And if it's nice enough, we're going to work on stick shift. So, kind of a lot to do today. Hopefully it'll stay nice, but I think we get it done. Main goals is going to be a stick shift blazer. Don't want to do that because when we did the transmission, it has the bigger transmission in it, and so the way the transmission bell housing and the starter and the frame, how the frame bends in a little bit, I think we had to lift up the engine, take the engine mount out, and lift up the engine to actually get that in. So I'm hoping I don't have to do that, and I'm hoping I was wrong about that. But if I'm remembering it, I'm pretty sure there's a reason why. So we'll get that changed out, and then it'll run. I can put that back up for sale. We'll get the hydro boost on the Duramax done, and then we'll get the tires mounted on it and be able to drive that finally. And then Brown Blazer, if we could drain all the fuel out of that, that should then fix its issue. It's got water in the fuel right now, so we got to fix all that. Looks kind of dorky with these tires, but you know what? Those tires were the tires that were on Lifted Blazer originally, and these tires came off of this Blazer because I bought those tires brand new, broke the oil pan on that, and then it just sat, and then fixed the oil pan, and then it had the water in the gas tank. So yeah, that Blazer is just one problem after the next with it, but it's going to help with the Jimmy and help with everything else. So that's kind of today's plan. Hopefully it'll work. Yeah, so we'll just kind of try that. We'll figure it out from there, see exactly what's going to go on. But hopefully we'll have it all gone. I'm hoping before winter comes, I can sell stick shift Blazer, I can sell the Jimmy, I can sell the Brown Blazer, get rid of the Subaru, and possibly I might keep this trailer. I'm not sure if I want to keep the trailer or not, but I may keep the trailer. It's like I don't want to, but it gives me a trailer and I don't have another one. But if I mount this winch on it and I paint the thing and I make it look really good, I might put it up for sale and put it up for like $2,000 or $2,500 and see if someone buys it. Because then if they buy it, I just made $2,500 off this trailer that I paid. I think what we paid like $1,500 for that and the Baja. And then when we sell the Baja Bug, we're gonna make a little bit. I'm gonna try to get $800 out of that. If I don't sell it, we'll fix it up next summer or the summer after that. So that's not gonna hurt, and it's not gonna hurt me owning the trailer. Pretty good deal, but we're gonna try to get rid of that hot tub too before winter comes, and winter coming sooner than expected. So yeah, lots to do and not enough time. So just kind of a little update video. Yeah, that's kind of it. I don't know. Maybe I'll make a video of me changing out that starter, or changing out the hydro boost, or some. I don't know. I'll make another video one of these. What video do you guys want to see me do next? Do you guys want to see the Duramax, or do you want to see the stick shift Blazer, or the Jimmy, or a lifted Blazer, or Brown Blazer, or the S10? I don't know. What video do you guys want to see next? Let me know in the comments, and maybe I'll make it. Okay. See you guys in the next one.